About international business and especially the transportation, I want to also add some points. One is, in China, the trains and the subways are very, very developed. But in America, the airlines seems very developed. This may be different historical reason produced different results. Anyway, for the transportation or the vehicles, they are different. And nowadays, because of novel coronavirus, the transportations, cargo or international deliveries becomes very difficult internationally, because even since today, China government doesn't allow other foreigners coming into China from today, at least 1 month or even longer. But generally speaking, as far as we check the share market, we can say these delivery companies' performance are very excellent, and their share values is pretty high. So in China, even Shunfen or any other these delivery companies seems increased very quickly about their share market. So transportation for some places nowadays are not influenced by the pandemic, but in some places most industries have been influenced or deteriorated. But for the transportation, certain areas or delivery industry seems still okay, at least now in the society. Yeah.
Have you heard the term ghost flight?
Ghost flight.
Like a ghost meaning an apparition. Woo.
Yeah, ghost. I know ghost. Monster ghost.
Yes.
Yeah.
So have you heard ghost flight?
Ghost flight. What do you mean?
Yes. So, because of the contract obligations that the European Union put on the airlines, so they had agreement with the airlines.
Yeah.
That in order to keep the time slots, meaning the schedules for flights, the airlines had to continue, even after coronavirus spread, had to continue flying.
Oh, no one. Only air.
With no one on board. No one on board.
Wow.
And so imagine.
Empty.
The public. Well, the public did not know this.
Oh.
And then they found out.
Yeah.
And they said, "Whoa, wait. Here we are, trying to save the environment, and you're flying empty planes with using fuel to fly empty planes to keep a time slot."
Yeah.
And so they got mad. First they were mad at the airline, but then they were mad at the European Union because they said, "How can you require this? This is insane." So right now, I don't know the status, but I believe they've either stopped that practice or they're looking at how to do it, because that's how crazy. When you get a transportation industry that is so dependent on on customers, that they said, we can't stop, even with nobody on the plane. We can't stop. We must still fly the plane. That's crazy. That's how dependent.
Actually, it's the same.
The airline industry.
Ghost flight. You means empty flight, but it's still flying.
Empty flight.
Yeah. It's the same in Beijing. In Beijing city, we can almost more than 1 month. Every day on the street, you can see the buses come and go. Always almost empty. Always empty, and. Sometimes only the driver or the ticket seller without anywhere else. almost
Wow.
more than 1 month. But recently more and more people, but still maybe 4 or 5 people in the vehicle you can see them. But still not very many. But at least almost more than 1 month, always empty. The buses.
Yeah. Which is, but that's when you were talking before about how important
Yeah.
these industries, or the revenue is
Yeah.
to these industries.
Yeah.
They right now they are devastated. They have no customers. In fact, right now the United States is looking at stopping domestic flights. So we may actually stop domestic flights too, which means these planes aren't flying any customers anywhere.
Yeah.
That's a first in my lifetime. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, here we can introduce about one word one term that is performance of services. Some services, banking, insurance, rentals, engineering, management services, and our training services, and net company's earnings in the form of fees, payments for the performance of those services. And here I want to talk a little bit about Haier in China. This is a very famous company. A lot of refrigerator are produced produced by the company that is Haier. And so for international business, I mean this the company Haier was took a great example for all of the Chinese companies to learn from it, just because one story happened, and that story was made into a film, video. That is the CEO, the 首席执行官 CEO. The host, the star was. The host is Zhang Ruiming. From that movie, we can say the quality of the service is extremely important. If the goods or commodity, the quality is not good enough, he used his hammer to hit the refrigerators, all of them. At that time, it happened maybe in 1980s. Refrigerators were still very expensive, but the CEO found the quality was not high enough, so he used hammers to destroy all of them. And even he just won all of the stuff. You must remember, if the quality is not high enough, just rubbish, because some refrigerators may still maybe damage a lot of power damage, or caused a lot of problems, and some after sales work service not good enough. So service performance is extremely important for any goods, or if any like training, also very important. So would you like to talk about your opinion about the performance of services?
Well, the thing, perform our on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Your personal experience with performance can be seen on, and I don't know about in China, but definitely in the U.S., we see it on every receipt that we have. So when you buy something, and I don't have a receipt right here, but when you buy, for example, a rental car, when you rent a car, you will see a series of other fees. It will say $2 for this, for cleaning the car. $1 for transaction fee. 50 cents for, they do this, mobile phone, self-service, same thing. They will say $2 for this 911 fee. All these different little fees. Those performance fees sometimes add several percent to your price. So my self-service that I pay for my mobile phone each month, the regular price is $55. The additional performance of services fees are another almost $10, almost 20% just in those fees. However, it's supposed to go toward better, maintaining a level of service. So the best example I have is electrical service for your house. The providers of electrical service for the U.S., the electric companies, they send you a bill, and on that bill will be several performance of service fees. If you ask them, why do we pay these fees? They will tell you, do you want electricity at your house when it snows? Do you want electricity at your house when there's a thunderstorm? We have to provide electricity to you under many circumstances. And if the power goes out, we have a cost of sending people out to fix the lines to make sure that we restore power to your house. Those are the fees. And so performance of service fees are supposed to, in part, help maintain a level of service for whatever relationship you have with that vendor, with that supplier.
And here I want to
over and above.
Here I can tell you one story to compare the service performance, service quality or performance, the differences between China and America. Maybe about 12 years ago, in 2008, I was studying in the United States in Miami University, and one day I went to buy a desk, particularly for my computer. And when I came back, I found one screw was lost. So the desk was not very stable. So I went back the second day. I went back to look for that store, and they asked me nothing. They just, you need a screw, just give me. When I went back, I reinstalled the desk, and everything is okay. And I found in a small bag, I found the extra screw. So I feel very regretful and went back to return that screw. And later, when I came back to China, I thought a lot of phenomena happened to me. The comparison, if I lost certain devices or a screw, they would not give me. They may, you must pay extra fee. Why not check it at that time? So about service quality is concerned, China is still have a long way to go to learn from American. American people really have provided very satisfying service quality, services. So Chinese people must be still humble to learn from American.
Well, and I think part of it is this. Have you heard the English phrase, the squeaky wheel gets the grease or gets the oil? I mean, the person who complains gets the service. Now, think about the U.S. and China. In China, where some of the people I know are very shy, if they get bad service, it's almost as if they don't want to say, hey, I got bad service. You need to fix this. If you're in America and you provide bad service, they will tell 1,000 people how bad your service is. So, companies in America over the last 40 plus years have learned, try not to make your customer mad, because now they have the internet,
Yeah.
and it's free, and they can complain on 1,000 forums on the internet, and basically make your life miserable as a company with a bunch of 1-star reviews over a screw. No. So companies tend, in part, they're trying to do the right thing, but they're also doing it because they know the kind of environment they're in today.
Yeah.
And it's very easy for a consumer to create hundreds of bad reviews that the company will have. It's almost impossible for the company to get rid of those reviews. So instead, they say, in fact, in their message, it will say on their website,
Yeah.
please contact, if you have a problem, please contact us first to give us a chance to make it right. And then you can leave a review.
Oh, I got it.
Don't leave a bad review, and then so they want you to say, okay, I have a problem.
Yeah.
I'm giving the company a chance to fix it. And
Yeah.
when the company fixes that problem,
Yeah.
you're like, wow, they gave me the screw with no question. Just gave me the screw.
Yeah.
So that's a good experience, and you will tell your friends.
Yeah.
So, for a company here, they say there's no real downside.
Yeah.
In fact, they build it into their pricing. They assume that some percentage of customers will have somehow a bad experience, and that bad experience will cost the company some money. So when they price their products and services, they add enough to cover the fact that they're going to lose some money. Maybe 5%, 10% of revenue lost to customer service issues. But they build that in with an expectation of in advance into their pricing.
Yeah. Okay. Here we also introduce one very important towards. One is use of assets. When companies allow others to use their assets, such as trademarks, patents, copyrights, or expertise under contracts, also known as licensing agreements, they receive earnings called royalties. Here, royalties have 3 different meanings. Here we mentioned several. One, I remember it also refers one or more members of a royal family. This is the first meaning. The second is a certain money, some of money that is paid to somebody who has written a book, a piece of music, etc. Each time that is sold or performed. The third meaning is, for today our topic is about money. That is some money that is paid by an oil or mining company to the owner of the land that are working on. Nowadays, for example, if our Chinese company is trying to purchase a gold deposit in for example in Ethiopia, and we must pay some money to the government because that is called such kind of a fee, a tax fee is called royalty, 土地出让金或者矿权出让金. Okay, and here so about the royalties and use of assets, can you add more, please?
I have a great example.
Okay, please.
I don't like this example, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Okay, please.
So,
yeah.
Did you know that Trump?
Yes.
That he has hundreds of businesses that aren't actual businesses.
Mm-hmm.
What he does is he starts a business entity,
Mm-hmm.
and that business entity sells the rights to use his name
Oh.
to someone. Let's say hotel. Yes. So let's say hotel. Hotel owner says, "Hey, Trump, I want to call my hotel Hotel Trump. Can I do that?" And he will say, "Sure, for $10 million. You can call it Hotel Trump." And he will actually form a company with that agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's call it Hotel Trump Inc. And that license agreement
Uh-huh.
is between his new company, which has no employees,
Mm-hmm.
no employees. It's just a name,
Mm-hmm.
with a licensing agreement to use his assets, his name.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear Donald Trump say, "I have 500 companies," he doesn't have 500 companies. He has a couple of companies, and mostly empty companies that license his name
Oh.
to other people.
Yeah.
So, if you want to have Trump sneakers, you want to have Trump toast, you want to have Trump glasses,
Yeah.
and pay him, and he will create a company, and he will license the name to you. So most of his revenue that he makes today comes from forms like this, the use of assets.
Okay. Oh, that is a spiritual
yeah,
or reputation. He just uses his name to make a lot of money.
And
Profitable.
I should mention though,
Okay.
his name was not profitable prior to about 1999. He had a very questionable name.
Yeah.
It wasn't until he became a TV show
Oh.
celebrity
Okay.
that then his name began to have.
And
So anyway,
yeah.
he makes most of his money from licensing.
Yeah, I remember my wife last year. My wife went to New York, and she said Trump was very smart to know how to make money, and even the tower, there is a Trump Tower, very high tower at the top of the building. That is Trump, the word, and even the cup. Every cup on the cup there is this is Trump cup. Everywhere his name. So the person is very smart, know how to promote or advertise himself.
But because of the last 4 years,
Yeah.
there are buildings in the United States and around the world that are removing his name
Why?
because they don't want to be associated with him anymore. They say,
Yeah.
"He's bad for business. My customers don't want to come to my hotel."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they hate Trump.
Yeah.
So some companies have begun removing his name. They don't. They would rather call themselves anything but Trump. So it's interesting.
Just because
In the
he is
last 4
infamous
years,
in certain aspects, some people dislike him.
yes, and so now where his name had high licensing value,
Oh.
that has gone down a lot. The license value of his name is much lower than it was 4 years ago.
Wow.
But that's the nature of licensing assets. If you are making most of your money off of your reputation,
Mm-hmm.
and then you do something to harm your reputation,
Yeah.
don't be surprised when your income goes down.
Yeah. In some degree, maybe his name has harmed a lot of people's businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll send you later. I'll send you a photo of a building taking his name off.
Okay, and another word that is special term about licensing contract. Under an international licensing contract, licensor grants a foreign licensee the rights to use the licensor's intangible asset. In exchange, the licensee will pay the licensor a fee or royalty based on the returns from using the intangible property. So, can you make some explanation about the word licensing contract? Yeah.
All that is it's an explanation again of the previous slide.
Yeah.
You take any asset,
Yeah.
your patent,
Yeah.
your trademark, and
Yeah.
you're going to create a contract that says, here is how you can and cannot use it.
Yeah.
And if you misuse it, then we have the rights to cancel the contract. And in exchange for using it,
Yeah.
let's say your patent. Let's say you have a patent on some technology inside a phone.
Yeah.
Every phone, you might say, every phone that you sell,
Yeah.
you pay us 5 cents.
Yeah.
And that would be your license. That would be part of your licensing agreement. That's all. So it's the use of assets in the contract. It's spelled out in the terms of the contract.
Here, I also, by the way, introduce one word and also will ask you a question. Royalties also come from franchise contracts. Franchising is a special form of licensing. A franchisor doesn't only grant the foreign franchise rights to use the franchisor's intangible asset like a trademark, but also requires the franchises to operate according to the standards and rules of the franchisor. And here, there are firstly, I tell you a little bit about one story. That is about 7 years ago, I involved one project in Uganda, in Africa. That is, we purchased the biggest copper and cobalt mine in the country, and we signed up the contract. That is a concessionaire agreement, and I found it is very thick. More than 200 pages. The contract is very long because we negotiated with the government, the several ministries, the Ministry of Mines and Energy, and almost 15 days, day and night, we negotiated about the agreement. But most Chinese contracts seem not maybe just a few pages, 2, 4, or 5 pages. But that contract 250 pages, and we negotiated for a long time. And here, there's maybe I think we should learn from them, just because the economy in Uganda is not so developed, but all of the legal contracts or about some rules, some agreements, they learned the related rules from the developed countries like UK or United States, and so that they have considered a lot of aspects, and so that you cannot break the agreement. And for Chinese, maybe considered too less. Sometimes not thoughtful enough, not prudent enough. We should learn from them. And here I have one question about franchise contracts and concessionaire agreement. The two phrases are very similar. What's the difference between them?
But between which
Concessionaire
agreement?
Yeah, concessionaire agreement and a franchise.
I don't.
and franchise contracts. The two phrases, in my understanding, almost the same. But what's the difference? Why use different words?
Well, I don't see the other. Are you saying concessionaire?
Yeah, concessionaire agreement.
Oh, I'm not familiar with concessionaire agreements, but I can tell you with franchise agreements. I mean, think about any chain, or in English we call them chain stores. So it can be McDonald's, it can be Uniqlo. Basically, well, I don't know if Uniqlo uses a franchise structure, but it would basically be a if you want to franchise McDonald's, you pay a fee.
Okay.
Usually, it depends on where you are in the country or the world. So it could be $600,000. It could be $1.2 million, but you pay a fee. In return, McDonald's does all the marketing.
Yeah.
They do all the TV commercials, all the social media, everything. You have to buy their packaging. You have to use their beef. You use, their French fries. Basically, you buy everything from either the franchisee or franchisor or from one of their suppliers.
Yeah.
And so you are tied to this company. In return, it's pretty powerful that you get national and international marketing.
Yeah.
And that is very valuable. They do promotions.
Yeah.
They do toys that they produce. All these different developments that they do to promote their products for you. So as a franchisee, you don't have to worry about much of that. However, if they tell you your pricing needs to be X, then you can't say no. And I will give you an example. Very famous, Subway. Subway sandwich shop?
Yes, I know.
So Subway in the U.S. had a very famous deal. $5 foot long.
$5?
A 30-centimeter sandwich. We called it a foot long because it's 12 inches. Foot long sub sandwich for $5. Now, they did this years. It was an amazing promotion in the beginning.
Yeah.
But slowly prices went up for potatoes, for bread, for lettuce. The sandwich margin for each sale got smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Subway franchisor said, do not change your prices. Stay $5.
Yeah.
Franchisee said, wait, my margin is tinier and tinier each year. You can't do this to me.
Yeah.
So now Subway, we say they backed off. They said, okay, you can charge. So now when you go into Subway, 5 years ago, $5 sub.
Yeah.
You go in now, and depending on which Subway, the pricing is different.
Yeah.
So franchise agreement, a franchise contract can be a great...
Oh, yeah. The signal is not strong enough. Okay.
Signal's not strong?
Oh, now recover.
Okay.
Recover. Okay, I can listen clearly. And maybe... okay, go ahead, please.
The idea was just simply that the franchise agreement, it does give you the power, the clout, the reach of the national company. But in exchange, you must be tied directly to their supply chain.
Yeah.
And for some people, they don't want that.
Okay.
But so that's a franchise agreement.
Okay. I think today's we have finished the two parts. Our conversation has lasted almost 3 hours, from 10:10 to 1:10. That is almost 3 hours. And the rest, the rest part is about investment. And I think it's almost the end of today's conversation. Would you like to summarize today's conversation, or to give some suggestion to all of our audience?
Well, I think so. In dealing with international business, you can see that it's important to understand a little bit about the rules of the countries that you're trying to do business in.
Yeah.
As I do business in China, I must understand the rules for what is allowed, what is not allowed, especially legal.
Yeah.
For things like contracts.
Yes.
We've been talking for the past 3 hours. We have talked about a variety of types of contracts. So you want to know. My advice: always make sure you have an attorney in the country that you're doing business in.
Yes.
So if I'm doing business in China, I don't want an American attorney. I want a Chinese attorney who knows what he's doing in China.
Yes.
So if you want to do business in America, make sure you have an American attorney that knows, or an attorney that is, has passed the bar in America that knows American contracts.
Yes.
And so forth, Canadian, French. So that's probably the best advice. Make sure that you have legal representation to look over the contracts. So that you make a contract that is strong.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in trouble when your contract is missing key details.
Yeah.
So, that's probably the best way to protect yourself.
Yes. As long as we mention about international mining trade, that means we must look for the local, foreign, local lawyers, and to be knowledgeable about the local rules.
That's
and
right.
Do as the rooms do. Every day we mention about the saying, and including sometimes when we are trying to do international mining trade, we know certain countries, even more and more countries, they don't allow the mine owners to transport their ores, iron ores, into other countries. They just you must or some you must build up smeltering plants to do mineral processing or to finish a lot part. And not just because the local government hope the foreign country to solve a lot of local employment problems. That is, a lot of people are jobless. So that you are trying to invest in the local people, the local mineral deposits. Okay, please hire more people to work with you, work in your company, so the government will be happy. That is. Different countries have different rules. Some countries, okay, you just you just bring all of the ores by yourself. But some countries, oh no. And another situation is when you are doing international mining trade, you sign up one contract for some country. Okay, the your property include just the minerals, but some country not all of the minerals. And for some countries, just allow you just to do mineral exploration, but you are not allowed to mine the ores, to extract the minerals from the deep part. And sometimes mining rights just means small scale exploration and mining. But sometimes refers, you just have, for example, in China, mineral exploration and mining are divided into two different licenses. So if we want to do international mining trade, we must clarify the local laws, related rules and laws very clearly. Otherwise, we may destroy our business. Okay, this is my suggestion to all of our audience. Okay, today it's a time to say goodbye. Okay, do you want to talk more, or let's say goodbye?
No. What I would say
Yeah.
is I hope on Monday
Okay.
at around 10 a.m.
Yeah.
that everyone will come on back and join us for our next topic.
Yeah. 那我在这儿也补充一句，就是我们这一个直播呢，在明天12点之前依然是免费的，12点之后就要收9.9块。也希望所有的听众朋友、所有的观众能够把这个节目能够转发给你的想要提高外语的、想要了解对矿业的都感兴趣的这些人群，或者同事，或者同学，或者总之感谢大家。感谢大家多多转发。Let's say goodbye and bye for now. Okay, see you the day after tomorrow.
Bye everyone.
Monday. Okay, Monday AM. 星期一的早上10点我们再见。谢谢大家，好，再见。See you，拜拜。